Hi everybody, welcome to Cooking and Exploring with Smitty. What I'm getting ready to make is some people's favorite. It's crab macaroni and cheese. So what I'm going to do is get my things together and I'll be back with you. Okay, let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a stick of salted butter. And you'll realize that I'm not putting any salt into the recipe because I'm using salted butter and then my cheese is salted also. So I'm going to start with my salted butter and giving it time to melt, taking its time. Everyone loves macaroni and cheese, but I thought, you know what? Let's put some crab in it and see how we like it. So the butter's melting. I'm just stirring it around because I don't want it to burn. And then I also have it on very low temperature because I don't want it to burn. So let me let that melt, and while that's melting, come over and get my cutting board. Here we go. So let's get this butter melted. Macaroni and cheese is a comfort food for people who really like it. Me, personally, I'm not a big macaroni and cheese fan. But I make it because people I know like it. And when people come to dinner or if Steve wants some, I'll go ahead and make it. So I'm going to try this macaroni and cheese out with crab, and this may change my mind. So the butter's just about melted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in my garlic. And I'm using a garlic press because chopping it was not getting the job done. So press my garlic in while the butter's still melting. And then it's going to give a taste to the butter also. So what I'm putting in is like 3 cloves of garlic. I love garlic. Go ahead and get that in so that it can start to simmer. Putting in my last clove. Put that over there. If you could just smell this garlic. Oh, there is nothing like the smell of yummy garlic. So my garlic's sizzling. And to that, I'm going to add my chopped green onions. And I'm just going to let all of that cook together. Now, most people use a roux when they make their macaroni and cheese, and I don't use per se a roux, and I don't know, because I just don't use roux. And I also don't use eggs in my macaroni and cheese. So I'm going to add in some pepper, my favorite, and I'm going to put in salt just yet. So to this butter, oh my God, I just wish you could smell this. To this butter that's sizzling with all this greatness in it, I'm going to add a cup of milk. I'm going to pour my milk in here. Like so. And I'm going to add it to my butter mixture. There. So I'm going to wait for this to come up to temperature a little bit, so that it has a chance to melt the cheese that I'm going to be putting in. So let's let this come up to temperature. Okay, so this has come up to temperature, and it's not really hot, but it's not cold. So to this mixture, I'm going to add a package of cream cheese. And this is going to give it some creaminess, the creaminess that I want it to have. So let's open this and get that in there so we can join the party. Come on, cheese, join the party. And there it is. Getting all nice and melted. Yeah. So with that melting down, I'm going to go ahead and add my other cheese also, which is just a variety of cheese. It's what do you call it? Longhorn, and I have some other types of cheese in here. And I'm just going to put it all in here and let it cook until it melts down to a cheese sauce. Because what's going to happen is once this gets all cooked down, I'm going to add my macaroni to this so that it gets a chance to get mixed into the sauce. So I'll be back. Okay, as you can see, the cheese has melted, is melting down to like a wonderful, wonderful sauce. And what I'm going to add in here for flavor, just a little bit of smoked paprika, which you can get on my walk-in site. And I'm going to add a little couple of sprinkles of parsley. Okay. So as you can see, I didn't have to really make a roux for the cheese to melt. It melted beautifully. Let me bring you up closer. It melted beautifully on its own with just the milk. So let's give this a stir, stir, stir. Okay, so what I've done is I've already cooked my macaroni to the package's instructions. So I'm going to keep stirring this, and I'm going to go ahead and add my macaroni in. Just because I want it to absorb the cheese sauce. So let's get this out of here. Came out perfect. And let's just stir this. Because this way the macaroni gets a chance to drink up some of that sauce, and it's just already. And you know what? You can make this in advance. You don't have to cook it the day of. You can cook it before, let it cool, put it in the refrigerator, and you're good to go. So I'm going to let this cook for a minute or two, and then we're going to add in our crab. Okay, so as you can see, the macaroni's drinking up all of the cheese sauce. Just letting it cook around. So I'm going to turn it off so it can continue to cook. And to this, I'm going to add crab. And this is lump crab meat. You don't have to use lump. You can use whatever kind you want to use. I'm just going to put it in. Look at that delicious lump crab. It looks so delicious. Okay, so I put my lump crab in. I'm going to stir it around. so. And I'll be back. Okay, I have it all poured up and ready to go. I'm going to be baking it in this pan here. And what I have done is I've mixed breadcrumbs and cheese to put over the top. I'm not a big breadcrumb liker for anything on top of my food, but I'm mixing it with cheese. Maybe it'll taste better. And I'm going to put some on this one because I had so much that I made, so I'm going to make this extra one. And it can be eaten tonight. And what I'm going to do is sprinkle on a little more parsley. And I'm going to add some seafood poultry seasoning just to give it a kick. And then I'm going to bake it, and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, so we got about 35 seconds before the macaroni and cheese is ready to take out of the oven. I put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. So I'm going to let the timer go off and get ready so that we can get it out. Okay, so there it is. Nice and bubbly crab macaroni and cheese. And I'm going to let it sit and cool, and maybe we can have a taste. Okay, so the crab mac and cheese is done. Let me see if I can give you a show. This is it. So, what I'm going to do is try it because, as I told you earlier, I'm not a macaroni and cheese liker, but maybe this may change my mind. So let's take a quick taste of it. It's very hot. Very creamy. I love the taste of the crab in there. It gives it a whole nother meaning. I think I'm a crab macaroni and cheese liker. And the crispiness on top, it's absolutely delicious. So, you try this recipe, you do it your way because it's your macaroni and cheese, but just don't leave out the crab. Thank you for joining me with Exploring Food with Smitty, and we'll be back on another video. Have a good one.